Fucking what? 17 more years.
Nah, nigga saying what 17 more years to his own. Nigga called his wife a pet. I mean, I respect it, but like that's crazy at the same time.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
I guess since this is basically our last pod before I guess the play-in games.
Mm-hmm. Yes, next Tuesday.
Yeah, can't believe the season's almost over. Yeah, so I guess we could talk about our end of the season awards and what we think. Give some rationale behind it. So I guess I'll start off with who we think Coach of the Year is going to be.
Tibbs.
Are we all in agreement of Tibbs?
I think don't get me wrong. There's definitely other coaches who deserve to be in the consideration in the vote, but I think the one who should get it is Tibbs.
Miles,
Bro, my Knicks bias is going to be so crazy in this conversation. You're about to see me in rare form. Tom Thibodeau is the coach of the year. And everybody's going to say Quinn Snyder. I also think that Monty Williams would be my second pick. And I think that's probably who is going to win it. But my defense of Tibbs is that look at how shitty that the Knicks have been the past 5 seasons, even when we had Porzingis. Even when we had, somewhat of a talent.
An all-star.
Yes.
Porzingis was an all-star.
He was an all-star. You look at the coaches that was there, most of whom I'm not even going to give airtime because they all were terrible coaches. And for some reason, look at what Tibbs has been able to do. Look at what Julius has been able to do. Look at like the improvement of the team, the whole direction of the fan base. To me, it's just that it's as simple as that. But I do think Monty Williams is going to win it, and I think that's probably the favorite right now.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with that because of what the Suns have done. But like the reason why I like Tibbs as well, not only from like it's that complete turnaround. The roster isn't all that different from last year. So for him to do that, and like you hear announcers talk about it, like whenever they're on the national stage, where they go, look at this Knicks team, where if they were down 7 last year, they would have packed it in, stopped trying on all that shit. And you see them really busting their ass and competing. Now, Tibbs is still doing some Tibbs things, and you see Julius Randle fatiguing a bit because, he plays a lot because it's Tibbs.
Most minutes in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tibbs is getting the most out of his players and their teams. They made good moves. Derrick Rose was a good pickup. And, it was a little question about it early on, but he has been a good pickup for the Knicks, a good presence. And after they beat the Clippers, which was a great win, they were interviewing him talking about it. And he's like, I understand my role is more than just on the basketball court, like just straight contributing stat-wise. He's like, I'm talking more than I ever have on a team, which is wild to think about, but it also shows that he's literally like, yo, I'm trying to grow more as a player. Like, the buzz that New York has is amazing right now. Like, bringing back it's like winning in New York weighs more than winning anywhere else. Yes, the Suns are doing amazing things. Shout out to the Suns. I, for one, didn't think they were going to be as good as they are. So, like I said, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I shout it out. But I still think, like, winning in New York, and especially, like, you're going to talk about the Suns. They have Devin Booker, who people have been talking about, is amazing for years now. They have a #1 draft pick in Ayton. Yep. They have Chris Paul,
one of the best
one of the best point guards of all time. And the Knicks have Julius Randle, who no one expects anything from. And they're the 4 seed in the East. And coming from I think they're 18 games. We've won 18 games more than they have last year.
Yep. I'm right here with you, yo. Yeah. Like you're not getting an argument out of me. You don't have to convince me. I'm not the one that needs convincing. But Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think it should be Tibbs. Monty would be my second, and then Quinn Snyder would be my third. Only because with Quinn, I mean, he's had this team for a while. Mm-hmm. It's not like this is like his first, second year. Like he's had this group of guys. The only new addition would be Mike Conley.
Yeah,
and they
had him last year. Yeah,
they got both of them last year.
And then Jordan Clarkson this year. So.
No.
He was there last year too.
Oh wow, traded for him last year.
Oh dang, you know what it is? That season last year, man. Everything's a blur. But yeah, I would have to go Tibbs. I mean, look where the Knicks were last year compared to where they are now. Like you said, no major roster changes except for bringing in a seasoned vet, right? And that's and granted, that's what the Suns did too. And Chris Paul, I mean, you can't talk about the impact that Chris Paul had. I mean, he brought them from what were they? I mean, they had a really good bubble, so they were like the 9th or 10th.
But they were like the 13th or 14th seed at that point before the bubble.
Yeah, so you could make the argument that it's a lot to do with Chris Paul and Devin Booker developing too. Devin Booker reaching that next step, and Chris Paul just being who Chris Paul is. But at the same time, I mean, nobody in their right mind. You could have made the case that the Suns, you'd have at the beginning of the season, you'd have an easier case of making that the Suns would be the number 1 seed in the West than the Knicks would be the 4 seed.
More than the Knicks would be in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's just, and this is kind of going off of what I was telling y'all before. It's like, yo, as the season goes on, expectations change.
Yep.
And my expectation for this season was, and I say it to people all the time, is RJ going to get better? Do we have a coach? Both of those questions is answered.
Yep. I mean, look at how it is, right? How we talk about the media and stuff like that. A segment on First Take the other day was, would it be a disappointment if the Knicks don't win a playoff series? Like what? Like at the beginning of the season, we were talking about, all right, can the Knicks get to 500?
Right.
And now we're talking about, is it a disappointment if they, don't win a playoff series? So, yep, I think we're all in agreement there. MVP, I think that doesn't even have to be talked about, right?
I mean,
does it? Who's gonna win it?
who do I think?
We know who's gonna win it.
Honestly, I think, all right, so full disclaimer, I think Jokic is going to win it. But the problem is that he's not the problem, but he's not going to win it unanimously.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
The votes this year.
That's okay, though.
I mean, no, that's,
I mean, it's rare that we ever get that.
It's only happened once.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, more so that the votes are going to be split a lot.
Yes.
More than we've ever
I
seen
agree
before.
with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's going to win MVP, but it's not going to be by a lot. And I think because you have so many different arguments that you can make for so many different people. And I'm very consistent with this argument is that usually the most valuable player, that depends. Because you want to say who's the most valuable. You could argue that Chris Paul is the most valuable player. You could also argue that Embiid is the most valuable player. Hey, if I'm being biased, we can argue that Julius Randle is the most valuable player. And before James Harden got hurt, you could argue James Harden. But the problem is that under normal season circumstances, I don't think Jokic would be the MVP, but because the season has just been so like injury ridden and a lot of weird shit has been happening, he's probably going to win it.
A lot of the candidates have missed a lot of games.
Yes,
that's really what it comes down to,
and that's a fact.
That's because I think if everyone's healthy, he's still in the conversation. Is he the winner? Probably not. But I do like that, and the issue with that is also it goes into people like Dame who've kept his team afloat. Putting up numbers. Same thing with Luka.
Yep.
Putting up numbers, doing anything. Again, called Mavs being the 5 seed. Some people gave me shit about it. We started out 9-13. We're still the 5 seed and should be a lock for the 5 seed. The other thing is a Steph Curry fan account found my old tweet about the Warriors making the 8th seed on Steph having a magical offensive year and then possibly being burnt out going into the season. So that was cool because they were like, what the fuck? Like, who is this? But I don't have an issue with Jokic winning it. I personally, it would have been nice for Embiid just because of how well they're doing and everything, and the fact that they're a higher seed versus the Nuggets. But Jokic just had a phenomenal season and has probably played the most games out of all of those candidates. So that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, the thing that killed Embiid is the fact that during his month's absence, they never lost the 1 seed. Like, they were still playing really good basketball even without him.
Yep.
So I guess, and it kind of sucks that when your team is good without you, it hurts your case.
Always.
But, and I mean, look how the Nuggets didn't miss a beat when Jamal Murray went down. And look how much people were talking about Jamal Murray leaving the bubble last year.
My other thing is I don't think Chris Paul is putting up MVP numbers.
No, he's not.
But
his impact
is
what,
huge,
yeah.
but
And that's
individual stats also go into
And that's
it.
why I think Julius Randle will get an MVP vote.
He'll definitely get a vote. And even him having Player of the Month, I think that just shows like he literally put the team on his back for all of April. I feel like it's a valid.
Didn't they say that was like the Knicks' first Player of the Month since 2010 or something like that?
That's what I was telling y'all last week. Since 2013, in 8 years.
I think that's so fucking wild, especially when like Porzingis was an all-star.
Yeah.
So it's like you had an all-star player,
but
still was a player of the month.
It's so hard to win that because you gotta win games on top of like dominating. You know what I'm saying? Like Julius Riley averaged like 30 and 10 that month, and the Knicks were on a 9-game winning streak.
Yep.
So he'll definitely get a vote. I'm more so concerned if he's gonna get an All NBA team.
I think we kind of had a little bit about that last week.
It's hard this year, man.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
For front court, I really think he has a good case for it.
Backcourt's impossible.
Yeah, backcourt.
I'm glad I'm not voting because backcourt
is crazy. But I think for front court, he has a good case.
Oh yeah, because like it's the obvious people are there, and then you also remember like Donovan Mitchell was also before he got hurt was having a really really good year.
Yep. And that's the thing. It's like we're talking about all these people, and we didn't even name Donovan Mitchell for getting an MVP vote, which is like he's definitely not going to. But it's like the Jazz have been really fucking
like
good.
Someone's gonna give him one.
The problem is because
someone's
the Jazz
gonna give a LeBron vote to Donovan Mitchell.
Right. You know what it is? It's because the Jazz kind of work in like that team basketball type sense, where it's like, yeah, obviously Donovan Mitchell was the best player on the team, But because you talk about how they work so well together, and you have Rudy Gobert, and you have Bogdanovich, and you have Jordan Clarkson, and you have Mike Conley, it's like, well, nobody really stands out head and shoulders on that team.
He's gonna get a vote. I think he deserves
should.
a vote.
Yeah, I think he deserves a vote.
vote.
I don't think he deserves an MVP though. And it's funny.
Vote.
You're talking about it, and I'm like, do you think I don't think an MVP can be on a not can be, but I don't think we'll ever see an MVP on the same team as Sixth Man of the Year or someone who's in Sixth Man of the Year conversation. Think about it.
That makes sense. Well, well, what about the year? When did KD win his MVP?
Nah, he didn't. Nah, this
was Harden on the?
Was gone at that point.
Harden was gone by then.
Okay, this was like 2015 or 14. 15, 14.
15, 14 was when
might
he
have
won
been
it?
14. No, 13, 14, I think.
Was it not freshman year of college?
So that would be 14, 15.
Yeah.
Because I would have said that maybe that would have been the close, but if Harden wasn't there, then no.
Yeah, I don't think Harden was there at that point.
Yeah.
Was it?
So think about it, and that's no knock on Donovan Mitchell, but it's like, to me, that says more about how well the team does. For you to have a Sixth Man of the Year candidate, for you to have someone who's that good to be able to come off the bench, you know what I mean? That says a lot to the team. So I don't really see an MVP and like a Sixth Man of the Year coming from the same team.
Now, you know what? It was actually 13, 14. I'm thinking about it now because Steph won 14, 15. He won the MVP first because I remember that I was saying that James Harden should have won. Mm-hmm. And then I say that every fucking year. Yeah. And then 15, 16, that's when Steph won the unanimous one because I was 2016.
All right.
Yeah. He won 2013, 14, yes.
All right. So, all right.
Memory.
It's MVP, Sixth Man. Well, we could do most improved, obviously. I think it's obvious.
It's not
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle. There it is. That's
Sixth Man. I don't know how much you guys have been.
I think Jordan Clarkson is going to get it. I honestly think Tim Hardaway Jr. should be in the conversation. But I think because, especially after the Mavs have turned the season around, but I think because they started out so bad, he's not going to win it. I have no issue with Jordan Clarkson winning it though. I'm a Jordan Clarkson fan. Like, I really like Jordan Clarkson.
Somebody from the Jazz has to win an award. Whether it's Quinn Snyder, whether it's Mitch, whether he's not going to win it, but Jordan Clarkson.
You got three categories. So you have Coach of the Year, probably maybe for the Jazz. Defensive Player of the Year,
Gobert.
Gobert will be a.
He better not win it again, though.
I mean, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying he's going to be a candidate. Yeah, and then you have Sixth Man of the Year would be Jordan Clarkson.
Also, James Harden came to the Rockets in 12-13.
12-13.
Oh, so
yes.
So the year prior.
Mm-hmm. Almost.
We were close.
Almost, but but he was. I'm assuming he was still in the conversation when they were all on the team. For Sixth Man.
Yeah, but I don't think KD was in the MVP conversation at that point.
Oh, okay. All right, and then so most improved, we got that out the way. Sixth Man of the Year, and then Rookie of the Year. Ooh, this would be interesting. What do you guys think? I don't know how much you guys have paid attention.
I think LaMelo's injury gives it to Anthony Edwards. I really think that's what it is. I think if Melo didn't get hurt, LaMelo didn't get hurt, I think he would probably have won it, especially because the Hornets are a better team. But I think just like the tear Anthony Edwards has been on, the numbers he's put up, the fact that he's played basically the whole season, I think he's going to end up getting it.
Fair.
And I think I think we could all say the three choices are going to be him, Halliburton, and Melo.
Yeah,
like those are going to be the three.
IQ better get a fucking spot. That's on an
all. He got a spot on the all rookie team.
Probably second team. Probably just because guards.
Oh yeah,
literally because guards. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know who might get a spot on the second team? RJ Hampton. Even like when he left Denver and he went to Orlando.
Yeah,
he's playing pretty well. Cole Anthony too. I think if Cole Anthony didn't get hurt this year, he definitely would have been in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Now he's starting to heat up a lot.
Because before his injury he was hooping. So hey, it's gonna be some fun races. And I think that's
wonder who's gonna be right. I think.
What about I guess Depoy's the last one, right?
I don't really give a shit. To be honest, because I feel like it's the same people every year in conversation.
Nerlens Noel. It's like,
hey man, hey look, Nerlens been solid on defense.
I feel like it's the same.
I mean, we know he's not gonna win it, but
I think Lou Dort should get it.
Nerlens should get an all defensive team. If people actually
maybe a vote.
Yeah, maybe a vote. Fuck it.
But I think
DeAndre Jordan.
Don't you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
I honestly think Ben Simmons is going to win it, even though I don't necessarily think he deserves it.
Hey, man, fuck it. Good for Ben, man. Everybody's talking all that crazy shit about
him. Third best Australian basketball player in the league.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, fourth best behind Aaron Baines. It goes Kyrie, Joe Ingles, Aaron Baines.
Kyrie's considered Australian?
He was born in Australia. Okay. Yo, ironically, what do you call it? Kylie was the one that told me that. She was like, yeah, isn't Kyrie from Australia? I'm like, what are you talking about? We looked it up, and he was born in Australia when his dad was playing overseas.
I think I
that's
knew
why
this.
he comes out with an Australia cover almost every year.
All right. All right, that's about it. John, you got to skedaddle,
I do have to skedaddle.
He's going to go hit some balls with his hand.
Yeah, hard.
Over a net.
Don't worry, guys. The episode's not over, though. These guys will carry the torch for me.
Carry this? So we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing all season?
Don't try and make it seem like you carry me on your back.
We both carry. Me and Miles share the load equally.
Y'all, excuse the fuck out of me, then.
I think you meant to say you take the load equally.
Oh.
We already finished we already finished Shimonetto, watching Shimonetto, all right?
Yes, no more dirty jokes.
No
more dirty jokes.
But we'll get to those later.
Not you being the police from the anime.
Ooh, he watches.
Oh, wow.
He walks among us.
Wow. Not Matt being the decency police. Wow.
White man just trying to keep the black man down.
That's it for us this week, guys. This is episode 89. And make sure to follow us at Teletubby Sports on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Go like the Facebook page, so subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at Offended Narwhal. Guys.
Black grads matter. Black lives matter. That's it.
Yep. So you can follow me on the Twitters, J_Thomas_24. Coming out. I've actually been coming out with some a lot of content. A lot of content coming down the tubes.
Awesome.
So look out for that.
You don't give them your OnlyFans?
No, not yet. I haven't worked out the kinks for that yet.
You need to be sounding?
That's a double on Andre. If you guys haven't.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Yeah. But yeah.
Ask him how.
But yeah, man.
Please
just we live in large. Like he said, black grads matter. And nematodes are people too.
We will catch y'all next week.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion,